Thank you,
Perfect.
Vijit. Hi, everyone. So for the next session, we have Edgar, and he is the founder of Fuji DAO. We've met before, and I actually didn't know that Fuji DAO had come out of a hackathon, and I was quite surprised to know when Edgar mentioned that. And I'm sure he has more to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So thank you for the invite. Also, to all the participants to Decentralize. I hope you enjoy the experience. And yeah, I have kind of a pitch. I'm not a pro speaker yet, but I'm gonna do my best. So yeah, we can start like introducing. I can start introducing more about Fuji DAO just here. So basically, what we are creating actually is a borrowing aggregator. It started like back in January this year during the Global Market Make Hackathon. So just like you, I signed up to this hackathon. I met my two associates, Boyan and Degaro, and basically everything started here. So yeah, this is my first line in the pitch. So who we are? I'm Edgar Moreau. I was based in France like 1 day ago, but now I'm in Lisboa in Portugal. And basically, I'm 19, so I have not the background that my two teammates have. But I started learning about cryptocurrencies and like Bitcoin blockchain back like 5 years ago. But yeah, I was super interested in like tech, but also economics and financial mechanisms. Basically, how to reproduce and for the traditional finance system. Please, SEC, don't grab me. But yeah, so I was passionate about this. It was kind of my dream to participate in this. And so 5 years later, I'm now in the space, and I'm very glad. And I also introduced my two teammates, so Boyan and Degaro. Boyan is based in Paris. He was working as a CTO in another startup before. And basically, he has like 10 years experience in code. So I quickly realized during the hackathon that my coding experience was super low. But yeah, it's Boyan. And then Degaro is the third co-founder. So he's based in Boston. He was creating some flying cars before. And so he's helping the project in like all this project engineering, but also, company management, legal, all the legal part that I didn't know anything about. So yeah, that's the three co-founders. And then we expanded the team. We have now three partners with us. So Unborn, Phil, and Marcus. A front-end dev, Marcus. Unborn is doing all this artistic direction, user interface, user experience, all this. That's why you see like beautiful branded t-shirts. And also Phil, which is more focused on all the backend of Fuji DAO. So yeah, I think it's good for a team introduction. The third line is what we're building. So I already mentioned we're building like a borrowing aggregator. Basically, I'm gonna summarize it like it's an aggregator of lending borrowing protocols such as Aave, Compound, UIDX, and Iron Bank. And basically, what we're doing is like routing the borrower through the lowest possible rate actually available. So let's say there are like Compound Aave. Aave is 3%, Compound is 6%. We route it to Aave. And because these are floating rates, basically it can move the next day. So the next day compound is 3% and AVE is 6. So what we'll do is like operating refinancing operations for all the users so that they always benefit from the lowest rate. And so that these are like the two main functions, routing, refinancing. But then the main advantage of our product is like we're pulling the funds of the users all together so that each refinancing operation benefits to all the users instead of like refinancing each position one by one, which is like super expensive in gas fees. And yeah, so routing, refinancing, and pulling the funds together, creating like economy of scale. And yeah, that's a good summary of what we're building. And now in part one, which is called the hackathon, I will describe a bit our experience in this. Like it was 1 month and a half hackathon, and yeah, so we all met on Discord, on the global Discord this day. We liked the profiles of each other's, and so we decided to like make a team. And okay, let me see the lines. So yeah, all we found the concept of Fuji Dao. Basically, after like tons of brainstorming sessions, we found the crazy ideas of like creating, derivatives markets, new yields aggregator, how to solve impermanent loss. So really, it was some great ideas, but it was like pushing the concept to super complex when we just had to step back and realize that every other teams were basically focused on the same thing as us, which was like how to build some derivatives on top of profits, accelerate yields. All these basically, all teams are super interested in this, and I'm not bullying them, but it's like it's a normal behavior, I think, in a speculative bubble. So we just stepped back and we thought, okay, what's the part that's missing in the space? And we just realized like, no teams is looking at the other side, which is like reducing the cost, optimizing the cost, and especially on the borrowing side, where you have like tons of different market protocols that are offering lending borrowing services. And we're like, okay, and why this has not been invented yet? Basically, it's because all the teams were watching for increasing your profits and yields. But yeah, so it's all we came with this borrowing aggregator concept. There is a problem. The rates are floating. How do we make these rates lower? But also, how do we save the time for the users? The users don't want to monitor the race all day long, and probably they have like if they monitor, they have less time to buy like some great JPEGs. So I think these are like the main problems we're solving. Reducing the borrowing rates, reducing the operational cost of like managing funds. So basically gas fees, like all these transactions, the average users, they can't manage the funds basically, and also saving time. So let me go to the other line. Yeah, so what we showed at the end of the hackathon is really simple. It was like a white page made in Figma with the concept explained, but nothing was concrete, created, or anything like this. we just showed what we thought for like 1 month, and we kept thinking of how to build it. But the main point is that we showed something that is only a concept. So we showed this at the end, and yeah, basically we lost the hackathon. No, we lost the hackathon, but then we just decided like 1 or 2 days after that, okay, the concept is great from our sides, so let's continue seriously on this. And like I think like 5 days or 1 week after the hackathon, we got like a surprise because of the good feedback from the users, community members, that were like, oh, if I can optimize my cost by 15 or 20%, yes, of course, I want to use a platform like this. And so we got this attention, but also VC's attention. And this is really important because they are super angry about like all these hackathons. They like watching for new concepts. And the main focus is on the new teams. Like, can we trust the teams? What they can do, what they will do in the future? Are they serious about it or not? Basically, I think we were serious. So that's great. So yeah, community attention, which is super important. They validate or they say, oh, what the fuck is your new JPEG project? And also the investor that are watching, and they are not able to make what you make. And so they have funds so that you can make what you want to make. So you can expand the team, pay for audits, all this. And yeah, I derivate a bit, but yeah. So yeah, I think the part for the hackathon is pretty well. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to part 2, the lessons learned. So the first lessons, basically on my side at least, is like, alone you can do you can do JPEGs, but then with a team you can really make it for the long run. Like it's been 9 months now that we're working fully online with all the teammates, and basically it's the main point I realized. Like, well, when you're a bit down, up, the team is still there, so they can basically manage the project. And when you're up, then you can manage the projects, and they are not so up. So it's like the sentence like, oh, you can go super fast alone, but you can go super far together. And so above all these hackathon teams, and so it's super interesting for your personal life, and so to create like these friendships with I won't say like-minded people, but some different people from around the world. Like you won't be possible to meet them in other place. So yeah, enjoy your team, trust them, and yeah, that's my comment on the team. I love them. So the second point I want to highlight is like, keep your concept, and especially in this super early stage hackathon, it's like, keep it as simple as you can. Explain it in maybe 3 sentences. Okay, routing, refinancing, pulling the funds. It's too long. No, but keep it super simple. Don't put tons of interface stuff. Basically, the investor or community, they just want to hear the problem you're solving for them. So yeah, highlighted point, keep it simple, as if you wanted to explain it to a bunch of plastic. No, but yeah, keep it simple. And yeah. Also, so third point, yeah, instead of like trying to build another derivative market or another yield aggregator or another like fork of fork of fork of fork, it could work basically because we're in bubble. But I think it's an even better point to like create something new that is not that is not already here, or that sucks totally. Let's say you found a project is completely broken, then it makes sense to fork it because you think you have like an idea or a tips to turn it into something super great. But I would say trying to bring something new to the ecosystem. There are places for everyone. Uh, Basically, the space is super new, so all the concepts are needs to be validated. Some will work, some actually work, but won't work in the future. So yeah, trying to bring something new, and yeah, that's it. And yeah, so investors and communities, what they trust is what is not an idea or a concept, is also and mainly a team. Like if you see a team that is interesting, engaged, and that want really to bring something interesting, I'm repeating myself, but something new, original. Yeah, I think it's that is what like investors and communities are looking for. So yeah, it was my last point, and then the conclusion. I think is like the a the place where I can uh, sell some opium, I would say. So basically, in 9 months, you can basically sign up to Hackathon and land today in Lisboa or any place in the world, just working fully online. So I would say keep keep your dream up, and I'm sure like signing up to a hackathon is like the first step towards realizing kind of your dream. So keep this in mind, and yeah, I think it's a good um, a good point to kind of finish.
Yeah.
If you have any questions,
Yeah.
I'm super happy to reply.
Thank you. Thanks, Edgar. That was some really great points there. Um, before we move on to questions, I would like to ask you: does Fuji DAO has anything to do with Fuji Coin that's listed on Coin Market
No,
Cap? No.
no,
Yeah,
no, no.
that's a completely different project. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no
just
token
wanted to
yet.
just wanted to clarify to everyone. So Shubham asks, what do you think of dApps that are itself a product, not a service?
What?
What do you think of dApps that are itself a product but not a service? These decentralized applications that are a product, other products. That
Uh, so what you mean? An app that is offering products?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain, for instance, if you look at, I guess what he's trying to ask is decentralized applications like Uniswap and Aave. These guys are, they're a product, but I'm not really sure what he's trying to ask, to be honest. But not a service. Shubham, could you please clarify what do you mean with your question? Anyway, Rupali is asking, do you use AI or machine learning to route your users to the best possible interest rates, or do you do it manually? How does that happen? How does the behind the scene happen?
Yeah. So for now, we are still in the alpha version. So we're not that far in like the refinancing algorithm and so. But what we're doing right now is like keeping a delta of like 0.4 between the rates so that we don't change too frequently, which like don't make economic sense to switch each time there is a little discrepancy. And also we have this time frame of 1 hour before the next refinance operation, so that it optimizes the best way. But for sure, yeah, an AI, a trained AI on this is like needed in the future, and I think it will be ready for the beta version.
Okay, and any AI or ML that you use? I think that's what she was asking. If you use AI ML.
I'm not like the most technical guy in the team,
Okay.
but for now, no.
Oh no. Okay. Demin asks, when market conditions change and there is a provider with a lower borrow rate from us for a certain asset, the protocol triggers a rebalance operation and refinances the whole position of the vault. So this is what he's taken from your website, and he's asking, can you go deeper into how Fuji DAO queries for a lower borrow rate during the rebalancing? Who will pay for the fees?
Yeah. So at this point in the alpha version, because there is no Fuji incentives, Fuji token, or any mechanisms to incentivize for like other users to basically refinance or make the liquidations, we're considering these operations are company expense, we'll say, because there is no like point to pay $1,000 in gas for a user
Yeah.
to refinance for the pool. And so, yeah, for now, these operations are operated internally, and the point of FujiDAO is to grow towards a fully decentralized protocol. And so, all these operations of like refinancing, liquidations, will be fully decentralized and will come also with the beta version.
Interesting. Yeah. Also, like I want to ask for on behalf of the hackathon participants. Last time we saw participants making up teams, but some teams ended up having all the technical guys, and some teams were kind of missing the technical guys or some technicalities. Would you what would be your best suggestion to the hackathon participants? What kind of mix should they have in the team?
So yeah, it's a good point
Yeah.
because at first on my side I was like, oh, I'm not so good at coding, so I'm gonna survive and stuff. But basically in the team, if you have only technical guys, you have the perfect product, but then probably no one will hear you, or just I like it's unbalanced for me. And
Yeah.
then you need also some guys that can manage some projects. It's not only coding. You need some guys that can communicate in front of others people. You need to expand a network of other projects, other teams that can potentially make some good partners in the future. You also need to be in contact with investors if you want to raise some funds. So all this is basically super new, because for me it was like, oh, I'm gonna create a super derivatives market and that's it. But then there is all these legal
Legal
stuff,
thing. Yeah.
audit stuff, so much stuff, and even like managing employees. If you're a 19 guy, probably you don't know to manage some employees. So yeah, I think our team is pretty balanced in that sense. Is that my two teammates are oh, they're gonna blame me, but they are like 31 and 34. So
Yeah.
it's also good to have like some energy guys, some more serious guys that can drive the project and not going like crazy. So I would say, if you're not so good at coding, or if you're not so good at marketing, if you're not, but if you participated in this hackathon, you want to to show out something, and I think everyone has its place. So yeah, just be confident. I think it will work.
Yeah. Just one last question I would like to ask Edgar. In our last hackathon, what we saw that teams had picked up ambitious projects, and when the deadline had come, they were not able to submit it on time. They were asking for extension and all of that stuff. So how do you because they are building a really good product, and they don't have enough time for our hackathon. We're giving them 2 weeks, and yours was a month. So in these 2 weeks, like you also mentioned, you touched upon building an MVP, building a least viable product, as much. So how do they plan for that and not really miss the deadline for that matter?
I think, yeah, just as I mentioned, like keep it super simple, explain it in a few lines, and maybe you have already coded some basis, but keep these bases for you, because the investors, they don't understand code, the community don't understand code. So basically, what they want to see is like, oh, are they solving my problem? Yes, in 3 lines, like. So I would say 2 weeks is super fast. You can build a fully working protocol, or maybe Vitalik is watching, so he can. But no, in 2 weeks, do your best. All the teams, they have 2 weeks. The pressure is coming from the team itself. It doesn't come from anyone outside the team. So just explain your concept. And if you believe in your concept, then push it seriously after the hackathon. And you always have the time to pivot or to. I think 2 weeks is like the punch starting point. And
even if that's what I was telling last time to the participants. Even if you don't win the hackathon, you can still go out and start building on your product. You can start building community around it. You can start reaching out to investors. That's always a good idea, right? If you believe in it. I mean, that's all the time we have. Edgar, thank you so much for taking up the time. And this session has been recorded, and we'll send it to email to all our hackathon participants so that they can hopefully learn from it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for the invite. It was great. My non-prepared speech was great.
And, pretty good. Thanks.
Great. Thank you.
It indeed was great. Thank you so much, Edgar, for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. Our next session is at 2:45. It begins in 15 minutes. And we talk about, in fact, Francesco George Renzi from Superfluid Finance joins us as he talks about streams, new primitive for DeFi. So join us in 15 minutes. Till then, we do have a few sessions in the evening after that as well. To know more about them, you can check out the schedule. Go to the reception, download the agenda. We have great sessions with people from all around the world presented to you virtually and for free. Network with people, meet people who are attending the sessions currently and see what they have to offer. We'll see you in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.